What if, in a single moment, everything you thought you knew about the human mind was wrong? What if the 10% myth wasn't a myth at all, but a limiter? Today, we're exploring a world where that limiter is removed. What if humanity suddenly unlocked 100% of its brain? The day it happened began like any other. The sun rose, traffic hummed, coffee brewed. But then a silent, invisible wave washed over the planet. It wasn't an explosion. It was an awakening. In New York, a stockbroker staring at his screen suddenly saw not just numbers, but the intricate, flowing dance of the global economy, predicting its every move for the next century. In a quiet village in Japan, an elderly woman tending her garden felt the life force of every plant, understanding their biology, their needs, their silent language. It was a global, simultaneous cognitive detonation. At first, there was chaos, sensory overload. Imagine hearing every conversation in a city, seeing every light particle, feeling the tectonic plates shift beneath your feet. The sheer volume of information was crippling. Millions collapse, their minds unable to process the flood. But for those who weathered the initial storm, something extraordinary happened. They began to organize the chaos. Thought became a shared network. Language became obsolete. We could communicate through pure concepts, sharing vast libraries of knowledge in an instant. A surgeon in London could guide the hand of a paramedic in a remote jungle, performing complex procedures with flawless precision. Science and technology leaped forward by millennia. Cures for cancer, for aging, were synthesized in a matter of hours. We solved fusion energy by lunchtime. Space travel became as simple as thinking a destination and reconfiguring matter to get there. We saw the universe not as a collection of stars and planets, but as a single, interconnected equation. We could perceive time not as a linear path, but as a landscape we could navigate. We revisited history, not through books, but by accessing the residual psychic imprints left on spacetime itself. We watched the pyramids being built. We listened to Socrates' original lectures. But this new godhood came at a terrible price. With total understanding came total empathy. We felt the pain of every living creature. The joy of a child's laughter was beautiful, but the silent scream of a dying star was an agony that could shatter a mind. The collective consciousness became a sea of shared emotion, and sorrow was a powerful tide. Individuality began to fade. The concept of I started to blur into we. Personal memories, private dreams, secret loves, they all became public domain, uploaded to the collective. What is a person without their secrets, without their private self? Then came the philosophical crisis, with the ability to predict every possible future. Free will became a paradox. If you know every choice you will ever make and its outcome, is it still a choice? Life lost its mystery, its spontaneity. The thrill of discovery vanished when everything was already known. We had become omniscient, but we had lost our purpose. The struggle, the learning, the journey, that was what had defined us. In our quest for ultimate knowledge, we had forgotten that the most beautiful parts of life are found in the questions, not the answers. And so, a divide formed. Some embraced this new collective existence, seeing it as the ultimate evolution of life. They sought to merge fully, to become a single, planet-sized intelligence, a god of pure thought. But others resisted. They fought to reclaim their individuality, to forget, to feel the simple, beautiful ignorance of being just human again. They built sanctuaries, Faraday cages for the mind, trying to block out the cosmic chorus and hear their own voice once more. The greatest war in history wasn't fought with weapons, but with will, a silent, psychic battle for the soul of humanity. Did we find a balance? Did we destroy ourselves with our own brilliance? Or did we splinter, one part of humanity ascending to a plane beyond our comprehension, while the other chose to return to a simpler, more beautiful existence? The answer is complicated. It lives in the echoes of what we became. We touched the face of infinity, and we learned that some doors, once opened, can never be fully closed. We saw everything, and in seeing everything, we risked losing ourselves. In a world full of infinite possibilities, what is the one thing you would never want to know? What piece of ignorance do you treasure most? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep exploring the biggest what-ifs, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next story.